Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I'm going to be sharing a couple of techniques. One using the new blending brushes from Stampin' Up, and the other using the Frost White shimmer paint. So I'm going to be showing you how to use the brushes to colour up the square vellum doilies. And we're going to start that by getting some paper and some ink. Now I'm going to be using Pear Pizzazz. It's my favourite green, and the blending brushes. So I've got one here, and I think this is the third technique I've shown using the blending brushes. And I think I've explained before, you do get 3 in a packet for $12. And when I saw them, first of all, I thought they were foam, but actually they are really tightly packed, very, very soft bristles. I like to load the ink up by just going back and forth on my ink pad. And then this one, I'm just going to sort of start off the edge slightly. And I'm just going to work in a circular motion. And if you see, I'm keeping my finger on the top of it. I find that by doing this, it just stays, it's easier to put some pressure and get more colour. So I'm just going to cover everything over one time. You can see you could also use it as a stencil if you wanted to. Oh, that's a good idea. I might be doing some stenciling on another one. So watch this space. Now I'm going to make sure that I've got an even coating like this. And then you can put on as much colour as you want. You can see it's quite light. I know I can see I've got a little bit of lightness here. But you just keep adding colour until you get the depth that you want. Now obviously with a pale green like this, it's going to take a little bit of building up, but if you use a darker colour, darker green, you'll find that the colour will build up even faster. I'm trying to move it a little bit so that you can see how the colour is actually changing as I add more on. Okay, I think you get the idea, so I'm not going to put any more on. And I think that's going to give me quite a nice depth. Now, with these brushes, you can clean the excess off by using one of these microfibers. Just rub it on there and it will take the excess off. You could keep a brush for like your greens and blues, and maybe one's for your reds and pinks, and then another for your yellows and oranges. But I find that if you simply run this under the tap, it will come off really nice and clean. In fact, this one here, you'd never know it, but this one here has actually been, I use this for like a pinky colour, and every scrap of the colours come off. So that's our one technique using the blending brushes. Now the other technique I'm going to show you is how to create this background. And I'm going to start by using a piece of card. Now I'm using shimmery white, but it doesn't really matter what colour that you do use. I'm also going to be using the Frost White shimmer paint. And you'll need to give this a bit of a shake. There's a ball bearing inside to stir everything up. And I'm using a piece of sponge. This is a Stampin' Up sponge. Now, I did try to use one of the blending brushes, but to be honest with you, I think this has got some kind of extra, and anyway, it's not water-based, and it was hard to get my blending brush clean. So I find that if I use a piece of sponge, if it gets gooked up, all I'm doing is losing a piece of sponge and not a blending brush. So I'm just getting some of my ink on, and I'm just going to pop it all over the card, and I'm using a circular motion. I don't know why I use a circular motion. I just find it easier to use that. And I'm just going to rub up and down on the edges, and it does look a bit patchy to start with, but when it dries out it actually comes quite even. And when we've put it through an embossing folder, then any patches are completely lost. So you can see it's got that lovely pearly sheen, and we're just going to let that dry for a moment. I just waft it about a bit just to get it a little bit drier. Okay, so that will dry while I bring over my embossing machine. Now I'm going to put this through an embossing folder to give it even more definition, and I've decided to use the Parisian Flourish one because it's got lovely definition, and I love the curly bits here. So when you use it on a one-sided piece of card like this, you want to put it in so that the side with the shimmer paint is actually going to be next to or underneath the Stampin' Up logo. Then I'm going to pop it in the cut and emboss machine. This one, you're just going to need your base plate plus the grey embossing plate. Just crank that on through. And put that out of the way. And then I'm going to do the big reveal, because it's stunning. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It just looks so gorgeous. So then we're just going to attach it. I'm going to use a little liquid glue, but you can use a Stampin' Seal or glue stick, whatever works for you. I'm just going to attach that to the front of a piece of, this is Pear Pizzazz, like that. Now, beneath this video, you'll see a link to my blog, and on there will be the dimensions of all the pieces of card that I have used. And I'm going to use glue dots to attach my vellum doily. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to attach it to the back, and so they don't show. I'll show you in a minute where I'm attaching them, because I'm going to go ahead and put a pearl over it so that they don't show. And I think you can just see that they are kind of in the center of the flowery bits here, and I'm gonna pop it toward the top like that. And then I've got some pearls, and using my pick your tool, the little putty end, it fell off, there you go. I'm going to stick those straight away over there so that that adhesive doesn't catch on anything else I'm going to be working on, like that. And then I've made myself a little bow, and it's using the, where is it? It's the Fine Art ribbon from the 2021 January to June mini catalogue. And we're just going to pop this on with a glue dot. And press that firmly. Ow, I stabbed myself there. Okay. And then I've already done my greeting. So very simple greeting because of all the other luscious things that's on this card. So I've just used a piece of very vanilla cardstock, stamp wishing you all the best, and just layered it onto a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock. And I'm just going to lay it over the middle, over the hole in the middle and between those pearls. And there we are. Well, I hope you've enjoyed these two techniques using these really gorgeous products. If you've enjoyed the video, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.